All right. Problem 3 tells us that Jefferson gets a sales job at the Foot Locker on Dudley Street, and we're told that he earns $12.50 per hour. You'll see on my whiteboard here, I put out that key information, the fact that Jefferson earns $12.50 per hour. So part A asked us to complete the table below by finding different data points that could represent Jefferson's weekly pay. So again, the key information to know here is that Jefferson earns $12.50 per hour. And so if I want to start completing this table like I have here, I'm going to go ahead and put that into full screen now. The first thing I'd probably think about is, well, if Jefferson doesn't work any hours, and we're calling this X, then he's not going to make any money. So one important thing to know for this relationship is that X, the number of hours, when it's at 0, Y is also going to be at 0. This is a type of relationship that starts at the origin. Then, to make life easy, because $12.50 is a decimal, I'm not going to pick 1 as my next value. I'm actually just going to pick 2 as my next value there. And I need to figure out what 2 multiplied with 1250 is going to equal. When I multiply 2 times 1250, I end up with 25. So one data point I know is if Jefferson works 2 hours, he's going to make $25. Another thing I could think about, I'll just double that. If Jefferson works 4 hours, then I'm going to multiply 4, the number of hours, with his unit rate, $12.50 per every hour. And that's going to give me $50. Some of you may see a pattern developing here, as Mr. Neville would have talked about, or Ms. Ogagwa with you last year. This is starting to look like a proportional relationship. This constant rate of change tells me if for every 4 hours Jefferson makes $50, then I also know that for every 8 hours, if I just double that, then he's going to make twice as much because he makes the same amount every hour. So if he makes 4 hours and $50, in 8 hours he'd make double that, or $100. So this does not have to be what your table looks like, but this is an example of a few of these points. We're going to leave full screen for the whiteboard now. And as we take a look at our table up here, Part B asks us to create a graph by plotting each data point from Part A on the coordinate plane below. So each row here, the brown row I have, the blue row, the red, and the purple, each of those are different data points or different pairs of XY coordinates that we could plot on this coordinate plane. So you're going to double click to edit that, or you can click on it once and click edit. And now the key here is going to be to drag and drop these purple coordinate points, the points that represent Jefferson's pay, onto the graph where the data points here are from. So if the first point 0 and 0, would drag that purple point here. And then for your next data point, $2 and $25. 2 is going to be right between 0 and 4. 25 is going to be right between those two, 0 and 50. Now I want to plot 4 and 50. Point's a little bit easier because it's already up on the graph here. And the last one we want to plot, after we redo that 0, 0, 1, is at 8 hours. We know that Jefferson's going to make $100. And what you end up seeing here is it looks like they start to form a straight line. If we want, we could take this, go ahead, drag it towards that one, and drag this point up here. And now we see a straight line. This starts to represent any amount of pay that Jefferson could make over the course of the number of hours that he works at Foot Locker.